Jump into it. So wanted to show you these velvet boxwood. So obviously, we got a lot of people still want boxwood, want a lot of boxwood. Velvet's the plant of choice, but we really just wanted to show you how nice these squat sevens are looking. Full 18-inch, just fluffing out really nice, ready for the re-wholesaler landscape install. They'll be extremely happy with these. We still have plenty of threes also, but really wanted to show off these sevens, how nice they look. Just push the quality out there. I keep seeing some pretty rough boxwood out there. So just keep pushing our boxwood quality. I think people will be very happy. Hydrangea Bobo. So we're getting into the Bobo business. We were booked out for a little while, and then we're able to get availability on. You can see here how nice they're flushing. A couple weeks away from starting to see a flower bud. So we're going to have good vegetative growth for right now. So it'll continue to get larger, but that's where we are right now. We added another 500, as this flush keeps pushing, we'll keep adding more and more and more. Hopefully next week, for the following week, we'll be probably looking at putting several thousand on. We just want to be a little cautious. We're just now getting into this next crop here, but looking real good. Lime Ricky is, a plant we brought on several years ago. We don't do a lot of them, but we originally brought it on just because of how huge the flower is, and it holds itself up. So Lime Ricky won't flop, and it gets this huge flat flower. It's an arborescence, but you can see they're loaded with flower buds. Man, if you can get them out next week, the week after, they bloom, and the bloom lasts a very long time. But landing something like this on a customer that's fully budded up, that they know they're going to have weeks and weeks and weeks of blooming on their lot, that's a great plant to have around. It resists mildew really well, and it's very tough. Some arborescents can be a little tricky. But this one here is very tough, very adaptable, got really good winter hardiness. So great plant to get out there. Hydrangea Pinky Winky. This one's been around. It might be one of the first proven winter shrubs ever put out there, but we still grow it. We still have a good following on them. I mean, just look there at that foliage on that plant. Just to talk about hydrangeas a little bit, in most cases, we're several weeks away before we even start setting a flower bud. Remember, most of the paniculatas are summer bloomers. Quickfire will be the first, little quickfire, they'll be the first ones to hit. They'll start forming buds here pretty soon, and then Bobo, and then you start rolling into them. But, most of the bigger paniculata hydrangeas aren't really going to start setting flower buds till the end of the month, and really won't start to bloom and start to show their color till we're well into July. So just keep that in mind. If you have somebody looking for color right now, the paniculata hydrangeas might not be the best way to go. So you just have to wait. So, there's other things that have color, but people bring these in all the time. They sell it. It's a good time to get them out there, to get them planted at the homeowner, whatever, and then they can enjoy the flower for the summer. So it's just to tell you kind of how the paniculatas will come on here. Okay, Lonicera Thunderbolt. This was actually grown for contracts, but we got some availability on these, so we wanted to push it. So you can kind of see there, it's in a deco pot or a porch pot or a stone pot. I don't know, call it what you want, but it's a nice little pot. It can go on a patio or a front porch or wherever. Thunderbolt, or sell it to we're not asking for more money for the pot, so sell it to a re-wholesaler, whatever, install it in the ground. We really like this plant, Thunderbolt. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get a plant that has that yellow foliage that looks good and it looks good all year. A lot of times you'll get disease issues. Maybe they're not the best growers in the world, especially when it's in the deciduous range. So this one has really nice orange to yellows, bright yellows. It does very well in the shade, and it can also adapt to full sun. But, you know, this is a perfect plant to have on a porch or a little patio area or a backyard where you got a lot of shade, stuff like that. This will really keep really nice, clean foliage all year. So great plant for that. Hopefully we can push these out. They look fantastic. I mean, the whole crop looks like this. So see what you can do there. Physocarpa. So first one there, tiny wine is extremely tiny, very hard to see in the photo. The Festivus Gold, you know, they all look really good. You can, Cheryl will get that fixed, but ginger wine, you can see there, great plant. Unfortunately, we don't have, shoot, help me out, first edition, Amber Jubilee. So ginger wine kind of gives you some of those colors in there, a little bit of variation in the leaves. So that's a good substitute to go with. And then the far one there is summer wine, which is looking really good. Sometimes, you know, we've really changed how we do this one in the past. If you don't time that thing right and trim it right early, it gets real woody at this time of year. But you can see here, we got a real nice fresh crop, fresh foliage going on. So anyways, that's great color, clean foliage, easy care plants. You know, just keep water on them and you can't go wrong. And they're very adaptable. So, you know, Physocarpa are a great plant to get out there, especially for the homeowner looking for more installs and things like that. This is a 7-gallon. The 3-gallon crop is primarily produced at Avon. We do have some 3s out here, but you can see here, this is actually in a squat pot, but it's in the socket, so you can't really see that. But we like the squat pot. It's a little bit more shallow rooter, this plant is, so it doesn't need that full 7-gallon pot, but that squat pot, the way we grow that there, and you can get that height and it's not going to fall over. You know, it's not going to be on somebody's lot falling over all the time. So that's something to consider there too. You can see there we're at spec. Okay, so we're right at the 36-inch. Please note that. Somebody needs tipping 42 or something like that, we are not there. So make sure that, you know, we're talking about that, especially to the re-wholesalers or spec jobs. We're right at the 36-inch, but they're looking really good. They're flushing good. So we wanted to get some availability going.
I did add some 15-gallon 48s.
Okay, Cheryl just said 15-gallon 48s. She put a few of those on. So there are some 48s you can go to. Spirea. Oh shoot. Well, I don't know what happened to the photos, but anyways, so just focus on the, there you go.
I don't know what the heck happened. It was fine yesterday.
That's fine. We'll keep going. Gold Mound there, you know, that's an oldie. Been around for a long time. Very adaptable, very tough. The way we grow the gold mounds, we really got a lot of things in place where we can keep clean foliage. That does take a little bit of work, but they're looking real clean, real nice. Ice Dragon is really one that we wanted you to really, Ice Dragon is really a nice plant. It's in the Bloom and Easy program, but it's really, really dark, almost purple foliage, and it's starting to bloom, and it's really clean foliage, really nice. It's a great plant. We are out of Double Play Artist, and I think it's a better plant than Double Play Artist, very similar to it, but the leaf is bigger and it's just really dark. So it's really striking when we drive around. Great looking plant. You know, hopefully you can focus on that. Rainbow Fizz, that is kind of, you know, just a multi oranges and a little bit of greens in there, but mostly oranges and yellows, and then it'll be blooming here pretty soon. And then Empire Yeti is a white, pure white bloomer with really nice green foliage. So that's a really cool looking guy. And then scroll down, Pop Rocks Petite is an alpinum type. It's the only alpinum that we grow. So if you have customers in Alaska or the upper Yukon, you'd be great. So you can go to like zone 2 or something crazy like that. But it does adapt very well to our latitudes here. It will do really well in extreme conditions. It's a nice compact grower. It's got really nice pink flowers. It's, it kind of gets the same type of shape as a Little Princess does. Okay, I don't want to compare it too much to Little Princess, but kind of that low mound. It's going to spread a lot more than it'll ever get tall. But it's not this little tiny plant. It's like a rock garden type plant. It's, it's a foundation plant. It can be used as a foundation plant, kind of on a feature area, an island, something like that. And it's not going to get out of hand. And it's salt tolerant. It's going to take abuse. That's really one of the big reasons we brought this one on, that it can really fit in. But unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people know about it. So great plant to talk about. Sorbaria cherry on top. These continue to grow. This is a summer bloomer, so it's going to get kind of an orangey red. It'll kind of start out orange, kind of a pinnacle cone type flower. And then it will deepen as it goes along. The flower lasts an extremely long time, and then it dries on the plant with color. So that's pretty cool. It'll keep that color all through the fall. But right now you got great foliage contrast with oranges and yellows against the green. So, all right, next. I think there's a couple more, Lee.
Is there? Oh,
yeah. Sorbaria sorbiflora. So this is at the opposite end of the spectrum. So cherry on top is a very compact dwarf kind of grower. Sorbiflora is that's the parent plant. That's where all the Sorbaria came from. Big plant. It's known as false spirea. This one here is where the other ones have a different type of bloom. This one here kind of has a more pearl-like flowers that open up in kind of a conical pattern. I don't know why it ever was called false spirea, but maybe it reminds you of spirea a little bit. So different deal, and the flower doesn't last that long. This is mostly a commercial job plant or large landscape, kind of a background plant. Can provide screening, fill in an area, things like that. And it's going to have a lot of it. It has interesting foliage, and it blooms late. So it's a later bloomer. It will start here fairly soon, but it's such a big plant. It's nice to have a really big plant like that that's going to have nice flowering in the end of June. So that's kind of what sets this plant apart. It's going to have a very striking white flower later in June, and it's a very big plant. So good one to push out there for the architects. Weigelia Mimonae Sunset, is this improved?
No, that's the
Okay,
regular one.
so this is straight Sunset, and then improved is coming along. They're virtually the same. They just kind of moved on and did a little bit of breeding to help with propagation, because this one was really giving us trouble to try to propagate, but still, both of them grow the same once you get them established. You can see there you get multicolors in the leaf of different greens. Do not confuse this with my Monet. My Monet is different. It's going to have the white in it, and it's a little more compact. My Monet Sunset is still fairly compact, just a little bit more aggressive. It's probably a little more adaptable once it's established. Let's see, we got spilled wine. So I wanted to show you this one. So this is in a squat 7 or a 5-gallon pot. So it's that big squat pot. These things are huge. These things look great. This is the first time we're going to have these. We brought this on. We had requests in the past for this. People really wanted, instant effect for more of the landscape wholesale market. So we were able to get 300 of these on. And you can see there just how big those are. You put it in, the landscape's done. So we'll have more that we'll be adding on here. I think we have like a total of 700 or 800 that we did. So that's kind of a new item for us. So see if we can push those out. We still have lots of 3-gallon Wylloway. We talked about those last week. They're still looking really, really good. And there's also 2-gallon Wylloway. So, which still look really, really nice. They're all pretty much all blooming right now, all the Wylloway. So now's a great time to be sending those out, take advantage of the bloom, and you got the foliage and you got the whole package going on. Okay,